When I finished reading this collection of stories, the one thought that was going on in my mind was that I really wish that each of these stories had been written as a full-fledged novel because they're so good. Hey everyone, my name is Meera. Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be reviewing the book Magical Woman. This is a collection of 14 short stories, each of which is more diverse and fierce than the other. It is around 200 pages in length, and the font is also large enough that it definitely aids in increasing your reading pace. But what really sells this book is the stunning conceptualization and the ideas that underlie each of the stories. I've spoken about this book in my August wrap up, but I wanted to make a separate video because it totally deserves that. The stories in this collection dabble in a variety of different genres. So you will find stories pertaining to mythology. One of them was even a little creepy, so like I would say horror. Most of them are fantasy. Then there's a lot of speculative fiction as well, and a couple of them have to do with Hindu goddesses. But what I like, and what is a common thread that runs among quite a few of these stories, is that it shows us the consequences of our actions. So one of my favorite stories in this collection is Earth and Evolution Walk into a Bar, which has been written by Sejal Mehta. I love that story. Being woman centric, this collection deals with some social issues that women have to face in our society today. If you're sensitive to topics like kidnapping, rape, then I would caution you, be careful when you go into this collection of stories. This collection is not very graphic or gory, but still you should be aware of what you're going to encounter when you start reading this book. The world building in these stories is so well constructed. I didn't find any loopholes, and I found myself being convinced, being persuaded by the way the stories were written. Usually with fantasy short stories, it can be difficult to convey the whole story in the span of a few pages because you have to establish the world, talk about the creatures, and explain the plot. But I was surprised to see that all of these writers have nailed it. The stories are so well paced, the writers have emphasized on the right plot points at the right time, so you don't feel like it's too rushed or that parts of it were left out to accommodate the format. Other than Earth and Evolution Walk into a Bar, some of my other absolute favorite stories from this collection are Ganda Birunda, The Rakshasis Rose Garden, Gul, and Apocalyptica. I was glad to read a collection of fantasy short stories which reflected our Indian identities, so we were able to connect with some of these characters or some of these instances because they are part of our culture. Something I noticed throughout this book is that there are very few male characters, and even if they're there, most of them aren't shown in a great light. In the story, The Girl Who Haunted Death, I like the easy camaraderie or friendship that is established between Death and the protagonist. Whereas in the story Tridevi Turbulence, we get to see this banter between the four goddesses Parvati, Saraswati, Lakshmi, and Ganga. Some of the more common themes that are prevalent in this collection are environment, social evils, rage, queer rep, future. I rated Magical Woman 4.5 out of 5 stars, and I would definitely recommend it to you if you enjoy fantasy and speculative fiction. This collection has definitely paved its way onto my favorite reads of 2019 list, favorite all-time reads, as well as my list of favorite short story collections. If you've read this book, then let me know what you thought about it. That's it for my review of Magical Woman. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you again with another video soon. Bye!